Hello everybody, my name is Alex, and today I'm going to talk about the story called The Clumsy Crocodile, which is illustrated by Alex Wolf and by Felicity Everett and adapted by Rebecca Treyes. And this story is published by Usborne Young Reading. And it's in series 2. I hope you enjoy many other stories in the series 2, like The Fairground Ghost, The Incredible Present, or Gulliver's Travels. And this story is one of those inside the story of Usborne Young Reading for Kids, and LTD, and copyrights are preserved. Let's begin this exciting journey. Once upon a time, there was a crocodile named Classy Green. Classy Green was not quite clumsy at first. She thought that she was not clumsy at all. This was her first day that she worked at the department store of Evergreen Store. That is the biggest and most popular store in the town. And that store is also prized with things that you can find nowhere at all. And that reminds me of the first day of the Clumsy Crocodile. There is like an exotic pet department or a luxury goods department and a china department. That's china plates, and a toy department, and a lot more. And even a food hall, and that is a lot. And for the Clumsy Crocodile, which is Classy again, Classy thought that this was fun. One time, she met an old woman. The old woman wanted to have china plates. And in the china store, she was delivering she was so fast that she delivered about 60 plates. She was as careful as a crocodile can be. But actually, the old woman was growing impatient, and she said to Classy that to work up, and when she finished, she decided to get that china plates. The china he stacked carefully, but then the woman was growing impatient, and she decided to wrap up and quickly as she can. But suddenly, when she was carrying it nice and neat, the china fell all out of them, 60 of them, all of them. So that's why. And soon, because she had made it upside down, and she taped it on the bottom side. And soon the woman was furious, and she stomped away and left. And she just left and didn't say anything at all. And then Classy was delivered into a toy department, and that toy department, she was putting a ball. She was holding a ball, and then she is wrapping up the ball. But then suddenly, just after that, she got because her tail got swung from the train, and the train was broken. And when the train was broken after that, they said she would have to leave. And this time she was a little bit sad. She decided to go to the food hall and decided to work there. But suddenly, when she was working on a very, very super nice meal, but when she got on a stool, when she got the salad tripped and fell down. And when the salad fell down again, disaster struck. It flew and flew like just a matchstick in the air, and soon it landed on Ernest Evergreen's head, which is the owner of the shop, and he was also the boss of the Everglades shop. And soon he was a little bit furious. He told her Cassie to go to his office right now. And soon, but he liked salad, but he didn't like salad on his head. And when she already got in trouble. That is Cassie. Cassie was getting in trouble. She just panicked there. What could she do? She didn't know what to do at all. So she just stood there and obeyed the officer. And the Evergreen decided to kick her out of the store. But she really wanted her job. But she pleaded and pleaded all the time and cried and shouted. But Evergreen could not hear it. He held up the newspaper that he was reading. And when he lifted the newspaper, there were the greedy boys, which are the robbers. And the robbers are very greedy, of course. And the Cassie still wailed like an alarm bell. And when Evergreen could not stand the crying and anymore, he burst out and said, okay, and Cassie could still work there. Luckily, one time at Monday, she decided to practice at Sunday so that he can practice some more. Cassie practiced to make some plates. He stacked so many of them, it just wobbled a little bit. She tried to wrap up a ball, and she then wondered why a ball is round. Silly crocodile. And when it is finished, she decided to go to her sofa, but something was wrong, and she acted like nothing, and she pretended that there was a customer. Okay, she said, and pretended to help him or her. Like she pretended that was a pig, and she decided to get some china plates or everything for her. And soon she was ready for Monday. And on Monday, she decided to go to the luxury goods department store. And inside that store, there was an officer. And the officer had to go away, and Cassie was in charge. And Cassie just stood there, admiring the very, very big. This is a big jewelry, the Everglades jewelry, and it is the biggest jewelry in the world. That is the Everglades jewelry because it found out that the greedy boys wanted that jewelry, and they wanted to rob all of the jewelries inside the store. What now? He said, but she didn't know that first. But there were two There were two of them inside the greedy boys. One was Rupert and one was Nigel. Nigel decided to take out a bullet that people can't hear. And not here, and so he shot it in the sky and turned to the glass of the emigrate's jewelry, the biggest jewelry, and it shatters the glass all around it. And soon, but animals can still hear it. And soon, Cassie was panicked, and she decided to run over, but it stuck inside it and toppled over a necklace, some pretty shiny beads, and it fell all over the floor. Cassie tripped, and also the greedy boys also tripped and fell onto each other, and also the jewelry, the biggest jewelry, came crashing down. And it made such a loud explosion that you cannot believe it. Boom, boom. It's like that. It's super amazing to see how it react. And after that, they decided to go to some ancient treasures. And soon, when a pot landed and crashed all over, and Cassie bumped into a large pot, and the large pot stuck the two heads, which are the greedy boys, inside the pot. They cannot get the jewelry anymore. Nigel decided to get it out in the hand. Cassie thought that they were customers, and she rushed to them. But not soon. Unfortunately, another pot fell, and this time it landed right into the customers' heads. But she was horrified, and what had she done? Just after then, which is Emigrate's boss, just entered the room. But soon he sounded happy and pleased and excited. And he said that he had found the greedy boys. Yes. And he put them into jail. And soon he said congratulations to Cassie. And he made the largest feast in town ever. But except the greedy boy couldn't celebrate it, and they have a long, long feast. And soon, at the end, Evergreen decided not to make Cassie his assistant, and he decided to make her the chief tester and taster, with her tail tucked beneath, and then Cassie lived happily ever after and drank so much she'd have a fun time working there. And this is just why errors can make our lives easier. That's why, because sometimes errors are the best way to learn. And when errors we learn are the best way to learn, we can learn more about the errors. For example, when there is a phone shop which has bright colors in it, like looks like for children, and soon adults' rates are so low that after 2 months they have changed the packaging, or 3 months they have changed the packaging. But soon more kids wanted it. Like 5 to 10-year-olds wanted it. And soon they become a huge success. So that's why in this story, this is also the way to learn from your errors and mistakes. Like you have heard of the story and your teacher said, learn from your mistakes. And I believe that. And do you? Let's please make us and subscribe and like our channel. Goodbye everybody and thank you for listening.